Welcome back to Identity's fourth tutorial. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to take your brush knowledge further. Further as in being innovative, not hacking Photoshop. Alright, these videos are basically a compilation of previous videos, so in the sense that we build upon each other in terms of knowledge. So for this particular video, I'm going to be drawing on creating custom brushes from stock works, which is basically something I touched base on video number 2. That being said, I'm going to open up my web browser and then go to Google, type in splatter into the search, and then select the images tab at the top. You will then be flooded with splatter images. So what I'm going to do is actually select one of these splatter images and then right click it and save the image onto my desktop. Fortunately for me, I pre-saved splatter images onto my desktop in preparation for this video. So for those of you who are new, I'm not going to recap on how to create brushes from stock images. If you guys want to learn that, I suggest that you search up our video number 2 and view it. After you are done creating your custom brush from the splatter image, I want you to open up a new canvas and set it to 500 by 500 pixels. Now, of course you guys can create bigger canvases for your personal projects and experiments, but for the sake of this video and for my laptop, I will stick to a smaller canvas. Once that is opened up, don't do anything. First of all, recap on what I mentioned previously within other videos multiple times. As I stated, always create a new layer above your background layer when you are brushing or adding effects. Repeat these steps for every additional effect that you add. Select your brush tool within the toolbox and right click over the canvas. Now, find your splatter brush that you just created. This video will involve a lot more demonstration if not anything else. I want you guys to get into the habit of thinking like this, being innovative with the tools given to you by Adobe. Now, apply the brush. If you look at it here, this is the exact image of the stock that you basically created a custom brush from. But the thing is, it can be a lot more than that. How so, you ask? Well, for example, you can actually change the shape of your custom brush by applying the brush multiple times in different locations as well. This increases the splatter and changes the overall look and feel of the original brush. So as you can see here, after applying the brush several times, the new brush looks a lot more abstract. It looks a lot more unique than the previous brush. It also looks a lot more messy as well. Now, if you guys are thinking creating brush effects can only be done by using the brush tool within your toolbox, you are wrong. Brush effects may involve several different alternative tools within Photoshop as well. For example, go to your Edits tab, drop down to Transform, and select Rotate. You can now change the angle of your brush. You can go even further with that by going to your Edits tab, dropping down to Transform again, and messing around with Skew. This changes the perspective of your custom brush. Now, let's compare the original stock image brush with your newly enhanced brush. As you can see here, there is a significant difference between the two. Both of them use the same brush. However, one is alternated to better fit the needs of the surrounding it's placed upon. If you are thinking that this is the limit of a brush, then you are wrong. You can even apply filters to your brush. Now, what I'm going to do next is actually show you guys how to change the shape dynamics of your actual brush. Go to your Windows tab at the top, drop down to Brush, and it'll pop up a Brush Presets box. Now, I'm going to mess around with the shape dynamics of the actual brush by selecting Shape Dynamics. And then I'm going to mess around with the minimum roundness, roundness jitter, angle jitter, and size jitter. This changes the overall appearance of your brush. You can even add various finishing touches to your brush by selecting any of the other drop-down menus such as scattering, texturing, wet edges, or smoothing. Now I'm going to apply the brush. Let's compare the original stock image brush with the newly enhanced shape dynamic brush. As you can see here, there is a clear difference between the two. In fact, none of the altered brushes share the same resemblance, despite the fact of them all sharing the same components. Now, what I'm going to show you guys next is how to incorporate the smudge tool into a brush effect. You may choose specific brushes to smudge with, much like how you choose specific brushes to brush with. You may even apply shape dynamics to the smudge brush that you choose. One of the key factors into controlling the smudge tool is actually to take into consideration the strength percentage that you are smudging on. For example, if you are smudging on a strength of 100%, your smudging will be a lot more dramatic as opposed to smudging on a weaker, lower setting. I cannot stress this enough, but you guys should always utilize the tools that are given to you within Photoshop. Whether it be skewing, rotating, or duplicating your brush, the possibility for enhancements are always there. Now, what I'm going to show you guys next is actually an older project file which I worked on several years ago. This project file incorporates all the techniques that I have shared with you throughout this video, including some techniques which were discussed previously within our earlier videos. So basically, I'm going to be showing you guys how this image was created layer by layer. And voila, there's your completed image. Take into consideration that this project file was created several years ago, so it's a little bit messy, unorganized, and has a lot of unnecessary layers. For you guys, however, I want you guys to get into the habit of labeling your layers, merging down unnecessary duplicated layers, and overall cleaning up your project files so that it's easier to find things and delete things that are unnecessary. So in addition to the video tutorial, I have also included a link to the download of all the resources, brushes, and project files that we discussed throughout this video. It's located in the description of this video, so go ahead and check that out. And this concludes Identity's 4th video tutorial. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave them, and yeah, we'll get back to you when we can. Also take into consideration that we are still holding those random Facebook raffles which you may enter to win free gear. So yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, and see you next time.